Hey guys, this is Megan and this is the Like Minimal YouTube channel. So today I wanted to talk about the last 2 steps in creating a life that's aligned with you. And if you haven't seen the other videos in this series, I'd highly recommend that you watch them first. They'll be linked in the description box and I'll also be putting them in cards or whatever. So to help me with this process, I created a journal that I called the Daily Intent Journal and Planner, and you can actually download it for free if you want. It's available by clicking the link in the description box below and just putting your email address in, and I will send it to you. It's 1 month's worth of pages, which you can just reprint as many times as you'd like. So, on to the good stuff. The last 2 steps in this process are restructuring and adjusting your life and checking in with yourself on a daily and a monthly basis. So we'll start with adjusting and restructuring your life. Once you know your values, plan out what you want your life to look like based on those values, set goals based on that, and then create routines that will help you reach those goals. You will probably be feeling pretty good, and you might even have some bigger changes that you want to make. For example, after I figured out what I wanted my life to look like and actually took time to sit down and figure out what my values were, I decided to save up some money and leave my preschool teaching job, and I soon found a more flexible job as a nanny. And this job allows me more time, more mental capacity, and a better health situation to work on my goals for my life while doing a job that is aligned with my values. The last step would be to check in with ourselves on a daily and monthly basis. On a daily basis, I think it's really important for us to set aside some time for ourselves, preferably in the morning, where we can work on our mental and emotional state. We can get an idea of how we're feeling and why, and we can set intentions for our day. Some things that help me to do these things, check in with myself on a daily basis, include meditation, journaling, and using this Daily Intent Journal and Planner to set intentions for my day and to map out how I might look. So while I do like having a general idea of what my day is going to look like, I try not to get too attached to the schedule part. I don't want to get stressed out if something doesn't go my way or if something comes up. You can always reschedule and rearrange things for another day. I try to go with the flow as much as I can, and I think that helps me to be more in the moment and less worried. So I think that when we check in with ourselves on a daily basis, we get to know ourselves better. We understand what lifts us up, what brings us down, how we can most effectively meet our goals, how we do effectively meet goals, and how we don't effectively meet goals, what changes we want to make, and so on. So on a monthly basis, the Daily Intent Journal and Planner prompts us to reflect on our month and whether or not we had goals that we met, whether or not we had goals that we didn't meet, and how we can move into the next month and set ourselves up for success. So at the end of each month in the planner, you'll find a few questions that will help us to understand how the month went. So I had set some goals for October in my last video, and I am going to now reflect on whether or not I met those goals and what I can do moving into November. So this is what the page looks like at the end of each month, but before I reflect, I want to remind us of my goals for October. Drink a lot of water, journal every day, meditate, keep in touch with my mom and dad on a weekly basis, save more money and put this journal out there. So the first question is, which goals did you meet and which intentions did you act on? So I'm just reflecting on that. I pretty much drank 2 liters of water every day. I journaled and meditated almost every day. I kept in touch with my parents on a weekly basis, probably more often than that. I worked more Fridays than I have typically worked, which helped me to earn more money than usual. So I could put that away for savings, and I put this journal out there for people to start to use. So the next prompt says, consider 1 or 2 goals that you did not meet and note how you can meet them in the present. So rather than saying I didn't make time to do yoga, I'm going to phrase it positively. I make time in the morning for 10 to 30 minutes of yoga 3 times a week. That's something I'm going to take into November. How can you take these experiences into the next month to set yourself up for success? So continue to meet those previous goals, and to meet the yoga goal, I want to wake up at 6:30 instead of 7 to get that yoga in, which means I have to go to bed a half hour earlier, which means I need to follow through on the screen-free rule when I'm in bed and read a real book, which will help me get tired to go to sleep. So now I can set my goals for November. So for health, I'm going to go ahead and write in that yoga goal, 10 to 30 minutes, 3 days a week. And why do I want to do that? Well, because it's good for my mental health, it's good for my physical health, and I want to tone up my arms. Who doesn't? Emotionally, a goal that I want to reach, or an intention I want to set, is to work on balancing the overwhelming feeling of trying to solve the world's problems. I mean, I know I can't solve them all, but working towards helping while enjoying my own life. I feel like it's really hard sometimes, and I don't want to lose my mind. For the spiritual goal or intention, I want to continue to meditate, but I'm going to up it to 15 minutes a day. I think the longer, the better. The more practice, the better. For the community relationships section, I want to make it a point or make a point to. I don't know. I want to try to spend time and connect with people who are doing good things for the planet. And I want to do that because I think connection is obviously important, and it would be nice to commiserate and to learn from these people, and also I'm a human. We need connection. For a financial intention, I want to continue to work extra hours so I could make extra money to speed up my emergency fund savings and jumpstart my retirement fund. My final intention for November is to find someone who can redesign this journal. I would love to keep this momentum going and keep the project moving forward, and eventually create a physical version. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust and tweak my routine from last month. So I'm gonna wake up at 6:30 instead of 7. I'm going to try to get that yoga in, meditation, journaling, and then after that I'll have some water and feed the animals. The animals are just 2 guinea pigs. Well, and I have a cat, but we have an automatic feeder because 3 a.m. wake-ups are no fun. Anyway, 7:30 I'll make breakfast, usually between 7:30 and like 8:15. My boyfriend and I will eat our breakfast together before he goes to work. 8:30 I will start that journal YouTube, what's that last word? Journal YouTube. What does that say? Blog work. And then I'll get ready for work around 10. And while I get ready, I like to listen to an audiobook or a podcast or watch YouTube videos. Around 11 o'clock, I'll make or pack my lunch and leave for work a little bit after that. So my evening routine, like I mentioned previously, is a lot less luxurious. It's because I have such a long morning, I have a very short night. So I will get home around 7:45, and 3 days a week I intend to run with my boyfriend. 8:30 we can eat dinner as long as we've prepped it on the weekends. Otherwise, the night gets even longer. 9:45 is a good time for me to go up and get ready for bed, and then be in bed by 10, leaving me 15 minutes or so to waste time on my phone, and put it down and read by 10:15 so that I can get tired enough to fall asleep by 10:30, giving me 8 hours to sleep. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and I'm going to be doing another video about some extra pages that are in this planner. Just kind of going over the calendar, the meal planning pages, the budgeting pages, and offering my tips or perspective on how to use those pages. So if you haven't gotten the journal yet, just visit the website below, click the link below, and just put your email address in and I'll send it to you if you want it. If you're using this journal and planner, I'd love to hear about how it's going for you. I'd love to get some feedback. If there's anything you think it's lacking, if there's something you're not using, I know it's only been like a month, but leave it in the comments or just send me an email. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.